Hawkins come up here or no?
The ball.
Hawkins come up here?
No, he did
Okay.
not. No. Congratulations, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Start us off.
Just thought it was a good win. Every game in our league is hard. They all are. And I expected a hard game, and we got one. Thomas Hawkins is a really good player, and we hung in. I didn't feel like our defense was as good as it needed to be. I thought I slowed us down too much on the offensive end in the middle of the game, calling too many set plays. We were trying to take advantage of their bigs on pick and rolls, but I really slowed us down in doing it. Had a few turnovers in a row, and that was my fault. And then when they cut it to 4, that was what we talked about, was trying to get our pace back. And we had 3 or 4 plays in transition that kind of opened it back up for us. And I thought that was the difference in the game.
Taylor's numbers, you talked about trying to take advantage of their bigs. Is that why he was able to be so effective? Was because he was able to attack those guys?
Yeah, he was. And then, again, I put him in a bad position on those turnover baselines down there. And I didn't catch it as quick as I should have. But, yeah, that was the difference. And for him to have, I thought especially in the first half, he was great, because the things he did in the first half is he really understood how to play. Sometimes he used the pick and roll and got someone else involved. Sometimes he was able to attack their bigs on different stuff. And sometimes he gave it up early and moved it around and kept the ball flying. And I thought we had, look at our numbers in the first half, 17 for 29, 4 for 8, 6 for 9. I thought we were great on offense in the first half, and a lot of that had to do with him, his decision-making, understanding how to play. We didn't, we played half-court basketball against half-court basketball in the second half, and for too much of the second half. And when they have those two bigs in there together, that's the advantage them. The disadvantage for them is when you have to kind of get up and down. But when you get into the half-court, they're so big that it's not that easy. And so we were still okay in the second half, but we turned it over way more. We weren't able to get up and down as much. And then I don't feel like, as a whole, it was our best defensive game. I wouldn't say it was terrible. I'd still say it was better than it was 6 weeks ago, but not as good as it was against Eastern Michigan and some of those games.
You've won 5 of 6 MAC games now. How close are you getting to playing at your expectation level, and where does the game need to come yet?
Well, I mean, we're like every team, with every week that you're together, you just should be getting better. And so we have 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks that we have to make sure we're locked in on getting better. One of the big differences for us is, we got Jeremy back. And the thing about when you put a player like that in a lineup, especially one that hasn't practiced, it's awkward for a little while. It's awkward. It's like switching dance partners. It just takes a while to get your rhythm and comfort level back together again. And we went through that phase, and I thought, not the Bowling Green in the second game, that was just a loss, but I thought the first couple games, we were still going through that phase in there. And I feel like that has kind of sorted itself out now, and we're more comfortable, and, hopefully we don't have to go through that anymore. And Francis should be fine, I think, big picture. But when you tweak stuff in the middle of the season, it's just awkward. It just takes a while. And I think we went through that phase. We're kind of through that phase now. And I think we're playing in a way that we're capable of playing. And with that being said, in terms of the next 6 weeks, it's the toughness, the grit, the tenacity on the defensive end that we had in spades at Eastern Michigan. But being able to do that consistently all the time against every opponent, that's every coach's desire. But we have to be able to do that a higher percentage of the time. We had some possessions of it tonight, but I wouldn't have said we had 40 minutes of that tonight. And when we had, I thought against Eastern Michigan, our effort and our tenacity was outstanding, because like tonight, hey, guess what? We're 9 for 16 from 3. We were 6 for 20 at Eastern. This is the game we've been able to win. The games that we couldn't win was the one at Eastern where we didn't really shoot the ball well. But our defense in that game was exceptional. Our rebounding in that game was exceptional. Our toughness in that game was exceptional. And that's why we won, and that's what I want to see us do over the next 6 weeks. And if we do that, I feel like we're as good as anyone in this conference.
Did you feel that today with the shadow of the last 25 years here?
It was great to have him back for sure. I mean, I think, Ball State has great tradition and it means a lot to a lot of people. But there was a big gap in that tradition, you know, and to get these people back and kind of get them believing in what we're about and where we're going, and I think, you know, being able to reconnect those bonds to the pride of Ball State basketball is really important. And so it was great to have a great crowd tonight and to have this game.
Well, isn't that what this game's about, believe?
Yeah,
Believe it to be tough, win the game.
yeah, it was. I think that's well said.
How important is it to have the big guys in there? You just went on.
I thought both of them were exceptional. I thought Taylor really slowed down, and to me the game's slowing down for him a little bit on offense, changing speeds, making great decisions. And Franco, you know, really both at Eastern and here has been very aggressive, and that's the way we want him to be. And I thought he was, I mean, look at his numbers, 18 points, 4 assists, no turnovers, 6 rebounds. I mean, he was great. And he's had back-to-back performances that were exceptional. And that's what we need from both of those guys. We need Taylor to be great on defense, and we need Franco to be great. We need Taylor to be more aggressive on defense and Franco to be more aggressive on offense. And we need them both to lead, and I thought there's no question they did that tonight.
How's his kid's style of the game? How can you guys get him settled down so he can get back in there?
You know, we just try to play him through it, is the way we think. You know, he got 29 minutes. It's always a big decision. Like Thomas Wilder played 30 minutes, but he only played 10 in the first half because he had 2 fouls. And he finished with 2 fouls. So you ask yourself at the end of the game, was that the right decision or not the right decision? And I think there's arguments on both sides. I mean, on the one side, he played with confidence, wasn't afraid of fouling. On the second part of that, you say, first half is when we established our lead, and he only played half of it. And so that you're always asking yourself those questions as a coach. And I err on the side of, and it's not always right, like I play him and we foul out a lot. But I don't do that very much. We just would rather play him and get as many minutes out of him as we can. And for better or for worse, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's the way we usually think.
Kyle Mallory's hadn't made a field goal in that play up until tonight. How big was it for him to see a shot go down? It seemed like he was able to provide you guys a little bit of a spark off.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job, and I told him, right, but he listened. I told him right before the timeout, I said, my man, if you're open, shoot. You're a great shooter. Like, the play to win is the term we use, and that means don't play to avoid a mistake. You can't be successful. Kyle, we were shooting drills the other day, 75 or 80% from the NBA line. He was on fire. You know, for him not to look at the rim makes no sense. But I think it's hard for a freshman that's not getting enough minutes to get a rhythm. It's a lot different for a freshman that's playing a lot, kind of learns to play through mistakes. Kyle's not in that role, and so it's a lot much more difficult for him. But it was great. I thought he helped us both first and second half.
What was Kiapoe's injury?
I don't know what these rules are about what I'm supposed to say and not supposed to say, but it's a.
I don't have any rules, so.
I know. There's a 31-page document somewhere over here that explains exactly what we're allowed to do. Yeah, and but he has a leg injury that's not too serious, is what I understand. On it, let me say this: I don't know the extent of it, but it's a muscle injury. It's not a ligament or a knee or a tendon, something that you really worry about. And so it could. I don't know at this point if it's going to be a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but it's not barring a miracle. It's not a season-ending thing.
He previously had a foot injury. Is he over that, or is he
Yeah.
still struggling with
No,
that?
he's over that. This was something that just happened when he landed. He's fine. I don't know for sure if he'll play Tuesday or not. Both could happen. You know, he was walking around on crutches back there, but it's not the type of injury that you generally fear to be season-ending. Doesn't mean it couldn't be a few weeks, and I could be wrong. I don't have that much information yet.
Obviously, Wilder got going there in the second half. Why'd you elect to put Jimmy Tyler on there down the stretch?
Because he's our best on-the-ball defender by a significant margin in his quickness and his length. And then because Francis was down, Taylor played, 13 out of 14 minutes or something in the second half. And we were asking him to do something on offense and defense both that was hard. And so we wanted to give him a little bit of break so we could keep him out there on the offensive end. And truth be told, Jeremy's our best defender. You know, if you look at what he did against Central defensively, you look at what he did against Eastern defensively, and you look at what he did here defensively, without him, we don't have the ability level to be defensively offensively the same as we are with him. And we really rely on him a lot.
Would you always have put him in that category of great defender, or like how much have you seen him grow in that area?
He's grown a lot, no question about it. I would have always looked at him as someone who's capable of being a great defender. And there's certain matchups that are hard for him, but speed and quickness, that's not his problem. He has those in spades. And so he really helped us. I mean, honestly, without him, it could have been anyone's game.
Which I know we've talked about Sean moving back and forth with Ryan throughout the season a couple times, but having come off the bench tonight, shoot 4 or 5, had a big block too, transition dunks. Well, what's that kind of game?
It was good. I mean, he helped us a lot for sure. He 2 for 3 from behind the arc, and I thought he played well. And I think Sean's in a much better place right now than he probably would have been a few weeks ago. And he had a huge hustle play at Eastern. He tied up a guy on a rebound that led to a 3 for us. And so I thought he played well, and I thought he played well at Eastern. And I feel like he's getting, some of that grittiness back that we would have seen from him a year ago, and we need him to have it.
More questions for Coach? Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Anytime, man.
Fantastic.